Hey, y'all. Welcome back to Shay Renee Online, where we discuss food, fitness, and reality TV. Today, we're going to be talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 3, Episode 9. I now pronounce you depressed, okay? So the episode begins where Maurice and Kimmy ask where the guys went. They basically talking about all the things that they did the night before, when the guys and the girls split up and did their own thing. It kind of showed. Maurice says, something to the effect of it's G14 classified information. So he says something to the effect. So it goes to a flash of them being in a strip club of sorts and doing some very crazy things, if you will. So anyway, Kimmy tells Maurice Tiffany said that there was a conversation on the basketball court about Tisha that stirred the pot, and Tiffany was basically talking about and how Destiny was talking about dragging Tiffany. So then they talk about that and, their little night or whatever. And then the next scene, Tiffany tells Lou that if Tisha had a problem, she could have addressed it, not Destiny. Meaning, kind of recapping, she was telling him what happened the night before and how Destiny had gotten really mad at her. And then she called Destiny dramatic for threatening to drag her. First of all, Tiffany, you just don't get it. You really don't get it, okay? You're not understanding that you need to mind your goddamn business. That's just what it all is. And the common denominator is you minding your goddamn business. And you don't seem to know how to do any of that. So the sooner you learn how to do that, the better you will do amongst this group, okay? There has to be a different way for you to kind of insert yourself into the group and create some type of name for yourself besides you inserting yourself into other people's business, okay? And I hope you figure it out quick, because you might get dragged in real life by Destiny, because I don't think she's playing with you. So then Destiny sits down and talks to Mel, and Destiny asks Mel, did she have fun? And Mel says, I did until the end. I'm not gonna lie. And she says she can't gauge whether or not Destiny likes Tiffany or not. Mel, you used to be a school teacher, so you were teaching children. So you gotta have some type of brain in your head. You know that girl don't like that damn girl. What the fuck are you talking about? Are you just saying shit just to say it? You know that Destiny does not like Tiffany. God damn it, nobody likes Tiffany. The world doesn't like Tiffany, okay? Find it all over social media. Nobody likes your Cabbage Patch looking ass friend, okay? Nobody fucking likes her. So stop asking rhetorical goddamn questions, okay? Nobody likes Tiffany, Mel, okay? So knock it off and stop it, and you playing yourself. That pissed me off when she said that. I was like, girl, are you kidding me? You talk about reading the damn room. You read the damn room, okay? And the room said, we don't like her. So anyway, Mel tells Destiny she's coming off very mean, even if she doesn't mean it that way. First of all, Destiny's not coming off mean. She's coming off real. And that's what the problem is. That's what's missing in this group. People are so consistent with being fake that they're not being consistent with being real. And Destiny, real recognize real, and she knows that Tiffany is real fake. So she is going to make sure that she sniffs out the fakes and gets rid of them. Now, they're trying to compare this situation to what happened with Destiny and Kimmy, and how Destiny was a little aggressive with Kimmy about the whole Chicken Man situation. I just feel like that was a whole misunderstanding. And I do think at that time, Destiny was trying to find her way in the group as well. She was trying to make a name for herself on the show, because I think she was trying to get her and her husband to be main characters. Because I think at the time, they weren't main characters. They were like friends of the show. So because of what she did, now she has a permanent role. And unfortunately, she's not married. So she understood the assignment, okay? Now, do I think Destiny is a little aggressive and maybe she can, create arguments where arguments probably don't need to be had, especially in some situations that were a little uncomfortable that I've seen in the past with her husband? Yes. But with this situation with Tiffany, she understands the assignment. Tiffany is trash and nobody wants to be dealing with her and her foolishness. So the next scene, Tisha tells Marcel Tiffany said Marcel told Lewis that Tisha was insecure since she surprised him with therapy. And Marcel says, we need to talk about you surprising me with therapy because maybe there's a problem that you don't feel that you can tell me about on your own. And I feel like I appreciate Marcel saying it in that manner because I feel like he wasn't like blaming her for the therapy. I think he was taking responsibility for, you know what, this is my wife. I love her. What am I putting into her, or what am I not pouring into her to make her feel like she had to surprise me with therapy? I thought we had a good enough relationship where therapy wouldn't be something that she felt like she needed to necessarily surprise me with, or that he felt like maybe she should be able to, they have a good enough relationship where he feels like she can come and talk to him. So he's he's not taking it for granted anymore, and actually coming out and asking her, hey, where am I dropping the ball here? So then Tisha said the rumors, she's got to be honest, the rumors and comments about their marriage have affected her in ways she hasn't been totally honest about. And Marcel says they spend 90% of their time together. They eat together. They do this together. They work together. All these different things. We got kids together. If there's nothing that would make him question her as far as outside noise from other people. But Marcel, here's the thing. Just because it doesn't affect you doesn't mean that it doesn't affect her. Okay? Women are emotional. And you know what? Let me stop that, because we have to stop as a society thinking that men shouldn't have emotions. Just because you're a man doesn't mean that you're not allowed to feel. Okay? And men need to stop taking on that logic. If you're, as we're going to talk about later on, if you're depressed or whatever, and you need to talk about things, the common denominator is you need to talk about this stuff. You can't just keep bottling things up and thinking that eventually your partner or whoever the other said party is that you're having the issue with is just going to figure it out. It doesn't work that way. So Tisha says it's just hard when people you don't know are chatty about your marriage, and people close to you are even asking if she is sure the rumors aren't true. Then Marcel says, let me ask you a question. Which one of those people that are in your ear would you take financial or business advice from? He says you can listen and respect what they are saying, but consider the source when taking advice from people. I agree and disagree with that. Just because somebody may not necessarily, and everybody don't know what's going on with different people's finances, because there's a lot of people that I know, and I see it on social media all the time, that they act like everything is good. We live in a smokescreen society these days where people pretend like, life is all good in the hood, but you struggling and crying in the dark off of the camera. Okay. So people that are their friends, you never know what's going on in somebody's household. Heck, they thought Martel and Melody had a good relationship, and look at them now, divorced. So you never know what's going on in somebody's life. Now, you may also see a couple that you admire, and they may be giving you some advice, but just because they're not rich or have a business doesn't mean that they can't give you good advice on a relationship. So I kind of agree and disagree with that. You definitely want to consider the source when you're taking advice from people, but you don't want to consider somebody's financial situation doesn't necessarily determine whether they can give you advice on your relationship. That's a little wonky to me. So she understands Marcel says, what do you think I can do to help us get back to a point where, she takes him seriously and, respects him in the marriage, and where she can feel confident. So she says she really wants him to spend more time with her and the kids. She understands he works, but he needs to make the family and spending more time together more of a priority. And she says it's hurtful to always have to do everything with and for the kids herself. She feels like he constantly ignores her request to spend time with her and the kids. And Marcel says, you can take trips with the kids and I want to be there. You think I don't want to be there? I don't want to work this hard and give up all my time. He says, I have a responsibility to take us to a certain level. He wants his kids to have the freedom and luxury to decide what they want to do in life. They are almost there to the point where he can break away and spend more time with the family. First of all, Marcel, that's a load of bullshit, because there's that old saying that everybody says, people make time for what they want to make time for. And at the end of the day, if you tell Tisha, listen, I I can spend more. What's more valuable to you? Taking trips and being able to spend money on whatever you want to spend money on, or spending time with me? If you say spending more time with me is the goal, then guess what? I'm not going to work as much, but please believe we're not going to have as much money coming into the household. So you pick your poison, okay? I love you. I'm going to do whatever you want me to do. But just understand there's repercussions with both options, okay? And you just have to make sure that you're ready and willing to deal with whatever comes with either choice. And that's how you respond to that. Not making excuses that going out here and making money, you just can't spend time with your wife and your children. That's a load of bullshit. You on a trip right now. You made time to go on a vacation with your wife and your friends. Now, granted, this is for another income source for you because you're very well you're on a TV show. But you can make time to go on trips and do things with your family, even if it's just for 2 or 3 days at a time. If you love them and they are a priority, as you say, because you're working so hard to take care of them, you will understand that this is breaking your wife down. And obviously, if it's breaking your wife down, your kids see this stuff, and your kids see that you're not spending time with them. And what a lot of parents don't understand, time means so much more to these kids than this materialistic bullshit that you trying to make excuses for yourself to go out here and make money for. Me and my parents didn't have a whole lot of money when we were growing up, but guess what I value about my father? My father worked 3 jobs. He spent time with us. I remember him coming home after 3 jobs and still taking us to play basketball, still driving us up and down the road on road trips, family road trips. And he worked a lot. My father barely had time to sleep, but I remember the sacrifices that he made to spend time with me. Never missed a softball game. Okay, so Marcel, if you take anything from that conversation that you made all those excuses about not spending time with your family, you need to walk away from that knowing that you need to do better, because money doesn't make happiness, okay? And that's that on that. So then Tisha says, why don't we do a small form of commitment? She goes into talking about the commitment ceremony that she wants to surprise him with now. And Marcel says he will do it, but he wants to do it privately. She says, you don't want our friends to be there? And he says, no. He says the only surprises people should have in Vegas are usually sexual. And I'm like, oh God, Marcel and his damn man boobs always trying to fuck on somebody. Don't nobody want you, sir. Let's just be very clear. So Tiffany and Tisha talk, and Tiffany asked her how she was feeling about last night. And Tisha said the timing was really bad. And Tiffany says she will work on her timing. But in her confessionals, she says the ladies need to work on accepting her transparency. Bitch, no, you need to work on minding your motherfucking business. That's what you need to work on, okay? The ladies don't have to accept nothing. All we gonna accept is your, refrigerator looking ass body and your nice hair. That's all you got going for you. You need to knock it off and mind your goddamn business, okay? Let's be very clear. Cause you doing the absolute most on this show. You and your lurch looking ass husband, okay? Both of y'all need to mind your goddamn business, because y'all doing team too goddamn much on this show to be seen, and that ain't the way to go. And then y'all want to play couples counselor. I don't get it. It's giving doing way too much, okay? So anyway, moving right along, I done went on and on about goddamn Tiffany, y'all. I done lost my damn my damn space in my notes. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me catch up. All right. So then Tiffany said she will work on her timing, but the ladies need to work on accepting. Okay. She asked if they were good, and Tisha says yes. So Tisha says she talked to Marcel about the vow renewal, and he wasn't into it, so she isn't going to do it. And Tiffany and Lewis seem like they trying to convince Tisha to do it anyway. So you know what? Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them, Tisha, because first of all, they sitting up here talking about y'all communication is bad. Your husband just simply communicated to you that I don't want you to do this. Please don't do this. I don't like surprises. Don't surprise me ever. And if you surprise him after he just sat there and told you not to surprise him, you're contributing to the bullshit in your marriage. So listen to your fucking husband and don't listen to Tweedledee and fucking Tweedle Big and Dumb. Okay? Nobody got time for them two that's only been married for 5 minutes, and everybody want to say, oh, people shouldn't talk about people saying that they're not married that long, that they don't have any wisdom. No, y'all don't even know each other's poop schedule enough for me at this point. Okay, y'all ain't been married long enough to really figure out each other's quirks and turks. Okay, so mind your goddamn business. They got 15 years of whatever they got going on, and out of 15 years, that woman knows when to not push the envelope with her husband. Okay, so everyone gets on the bus and discusses wardrobe malfunctions and lap dances and all this other little BS when the ladies were hanging out. And Destiny says Kimmy and Maurice were too excited about Destiny's lap dances. Girl, nobody is excited about. Listen, Destiny, I like you, girl, but you really think that a lot of people are like really vibing for you. And I hate to burst your bubble, but nobody's thinking about you like that, okay? So just stop. So no one's pining after you. Got it? So Mel says Martell looks nice and he cheeses from ear to ear. They pull up to the wedding chapel and Martell is wondering if Mel is about to ask Martell to marry her again. Martell, the nerve of you, Captain Mouse King. Don't nobody want you. Mel has moved the fuck on to a bigger, better dick, and she got more to deal with at home than you. Okay? Why would I come back to you? You got a kid by some girl, sir. Call coleslaw. Nope. It's giving delusional. That's of grandeur. That's what it is. So Mel says Tisha and Marcel, she's excited. She's like, changing the subject about the potential of them two the thought of them getting married. And Mel says, Tisha and Marcel going to renew their vows. And everybody says, then they start talking about maybe Mel and Martell are going to get married. And Mel, annoyed, gets the hell up and gets up off the damn bus because she's like, I don't understand why anybody wants to continue to try to put me in that situation. Like, he was terrible. Why would I want to continue to put myself through that? So they all go in the chapel and Tisha says, I thought this would be fun for anyone to renew or show any kind of recommitment. And Marcel jumps in and says, because it seems like the room was like very dry and everybody's like, why the fuck are we here? Because I was thinking the same thing. Like, Tisha, did you come there thinking that you could convince Marcel to change his mind, subtly or whatever, or that he would change his mind that since everybody was there and just the spirits of how much he loves you would come over him and he would go on and renew his daggone vows with you? You should have just skipped this whole trip because you should know your husband by now, and you should have known that this here was a lost cause before y'all even pulled up. Okay, so I just feel like this whole scene was weird and whack. Tiffany and Louis somehow end up renewing their vows. We're going to go through this scene very quickly because I feel like it was a waste of time. So then Marcel jumps in and says there may be a recommitment of anything. There jumps in and says there may not be a recommitment of anything. And he thought that it was really nice that Tisha was expressing her love to Marcel like this, but it would be nice if it was reciprocated to her from Marcel, which he was being a little shady, trying to say Marcel doesn't express himself to her. But I did find it odd that, so Tiffany and Louis, they recommit, and Louis gives this little speech talking about, we understand the fact of commitment, but you want to, and Marcel says he doesn't want to do it now. He wants to wait until do it 25 years like they had already discussed, and they're going to do it, like they said they were going to do. And then, Louis just keeps on saying it's not about the recommitment. It's just basically about showing your wife how much you love her and all this, that, and the third. And I'm like, Louis, you ain't been around this group but for 10 minutes. You can't be telling these people how to express themselves. Like, get to know them first. This is your time to observe, okay? Put your glasses on, your binoculars, and pay attention. You got on rose-colored glasses right now because you clearly are not paying attention to what's really going on with this crew, okay? Get it together. So, again, they going on and do their little renewal. Mel chimes in and says, Marcel, why don't you get up there? And I know you guys aren't going to do a recommitment, but why don't you get up there and, profess your love to Tisha. Like, tell her how much you love her and all this, that, and the third. And Marcel says, I'm good. I'm not going to be doing any of that. Tisha knows I love her. And, basically some more bullshit from what he was saying earlier to kind of smooth things over, making excuses for all the working that he does and all that good nothing. So he doesn't say nothing. He's like, Tisha knows how much I take my vows seriously. I'm not about to be playing around, because that's being playful and, tarnishing the marriage and all this, whatever. He ain't get up there and do it. So anyway, Mel checks on Tisha outside, and she says, so how you feeling after all of that? Like, are you okay? After he didn't do it. And Tisha says, how Marceau is. Like, he says that he takes his vows seriously and he doesn't want to play around with it. He wants to do it on our time when we said we were going to do it, and that's that on that. So Tisha's like, listen, girl, I know my damn husband. This ain't, the juice ain't worth the squeeze this time. I'm going to just let this go. So they all get back in the party bus and they go to the Gordon Ramsay Hotel for dinner. Marcel says the bill is on him. And in his confessional, he says, Tisha says, it's nice of you to loosen up. And Marcel says, he doesn't mind paying the bill for things that he wants to do. And I thought that was a little shady. You pay for the bill for your family to do things all the time, but you don't want to do nothing with them. So, interesting. So Tisha thanks everyone for coming. Kimmy says, if you think about it, we did y'all's 10 year, talking about Marcel and Mel, and y'all's 15 year. And then Maurice chimes in and says, yeah, and you guys were there for our wedding in Miami. And then Mel says, unfortunately, we won't be celebrating anything like that anymore for the Holtz. And then Marcel jumps in and says, no, you'll be celebrating the Holtz. I'll be getting married again. I loved being married. Unfortunately, things happen. I feel like I did a lot of things right in my marriage, and I want to be married again. You'll be celebrating something for me down the line. Marcel, how about we celebrate you getting that damn construction license so you can make something of yourself and pay some of these bills for these kids, instead of making it your life's work to piss Mel off and amp her up all the goddamn time? How about you do that? Do something to make some money to take care of your 5 kids that you have right now, instead of being a damn drama king, because that ain't paying the bills right now, besides what you doing on this show and being a damn clown. Okay, so stop talking about remarrying Mel. Y'all, the damn ink ain't even dried on y'all divorce papers yet, and you talking about remarrying her. She doesn't have space in her life for cheaters, okay? You've cheated for 5 years with the same person and had a goddamn baby. Are you kidding me? Shut the fuck up and eat your steak, because that's all you need to be doing right now. And please, waiter, no more drinks, because this man is delusional. And we can't blame it on the goddamn alcohol, because I really do think he believes the foolishness that is of the words that is coming out of his damn mouth. So Mel says in her confessional, I don't know who Marcel is trying to convince, us or himself. She hates that he's stuck in this place, and she's looking forward to him moving on. Everyone raises their glasses to toast, saying, here's to happiness. And then Mel says, Marcel, you don't want me to be happy. You said you hope somebody breaks my heart. First of all, Mel, here you go, lighting the damn match. Why you had to say that? Let him be delusional by himself. You know you ain't opening up your heart to him anymore. The door is closed, right? Just leave the door closed, and your mouth too, because you always got some shit to say. Everybody trying to have a good moment and you want to turn it sideways. But I guess you got to create drama some kind of way. But I just feel like that was a little unnecessary. But it does open the door for Marceau to speak. And so Mel says, why would you say that? Like, I'll never forget that you said that. So then Marceau says, I can tell you why. He said that because he loves you and he doesn't really want someone else to make you happy. He kind of wants you to feel like he treated you the best and no one can get closer to you. And then Mel says, like he made me happy, the best in the world. And then Marcel says, I did treat you the best in the world. You thought you was the best in the world when you was with me. And Maurice chimes in because everybody rolling their eyes at the load of bullshit that he just came out of his mouth with. And Maurice chimes in and said, maybe he didn't get told I'm dropping the ball in certain areas. And Marcel says, no, the problem is he compared himself to other men instead of what she wanted. First of all, I don't think that Marcel wasn't what Mel wanted. I think he was just cheating on her and playing on her goddamn intelligence all the time, lying and doing stupid stuff. And also, I think Marcel doesn't want to be in the background. He didn't want to accept that Mel is an alpha. Like, she is a go-getter. She's out here making shit happen. And instead of him utilizing that and being proud of his wife and taking a bit of a step back, he wanted to be praised for all of her accomplishments and told that he was the reason why he was the reason for the season of greatness and everything in her life. And that's not true. It's okay to honor your wife and be proud of her. Know that you picked a good one. You guys obtained a lot of wealth because of Melody's go-getter spirit. Okay? So it's okay for men to take a back seat to the brilliance of their wife. The man that finds a wife finds a good thing, and you, sir, had a good thing and you ruined it because of your freaking ego. So now look what you dealing with in coleslaw, and don't nobody like coleslaw. Moving right along. So then they move on to another topic, and Marcel says, guys, while I have your attention, I want to talk about limiting the pillow talk. Okay, I've been hearing a lot of things coming back. I think we need to understand we're talking in a group right now. I don't need to be hearing stuff from my wife that I told y'all when we were talking in a group. And Marcel says, I don't need to be hearing stuff from my wife that I communicated to y'all, and I'm speaking directly to the new people. So Tiffany says, yeah, I mean, but are you meaning you should communicate openly with your wife? Like, Tiffany, here we go. Here you go. Sticking your pencil nose in everybody's business, okay? Girl, you and your grimace hips need to sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up, okay? I don't understand why you can't shut up. And the people's eyebrow that you give every time you about to talk shit. Shut the fuck up. That's wear a shirt and a muzzle that says, I'm in the process of shutting the fuck up. That's what you need to do, because it's giving way too much. So then Marcel says, I'm talking to Lewis right now. So then Tiffany sets her mouth to keep on freaking talking. So Lewis kind of gives the, hold on, baby, I got this. So Lewis says, one thing for sure, if it was communicated with your wife, it wouldn't have come back full circle from the circle. And Marcel says, it wasn't communicated to my wife, and I'd prefer it not be communicated to my wife. That's why I told you. So basically, you and your nosy ass wife need to shut the fuck up. If I'm talking to you, I'm not talking to my wife. I'm talking to you for a reason, because I don't want my wife to know, even though you on freaking camera. So it's like she's going to know anyway. But you know, it's a TV show. So Lewis says, well, if there's proper communication, there are certain things that should be communicated. Like I said, if you come to me and you say as a friend, I'm looking for advice, and I'm not going to be talking about it to the streets. I'm going to leave it alone. So Marcel says, there are some things I don't share with my wife, and if I share with you, I prefer you not to share it with your wife. And Lewis says, well, if you say it's between us, at the end of the day, the things we discuss, it will stay between us. But at the end of the day, if we all are friends, we are all trying to get better in some form. I'm going to challenge you and let you know this is what it is. Lewis, did you do a 7-day course on counseling or something? Because a lot of your words are very much giving baby Dr. Phil. Nobody asked you to analyze them. Okay, just listen and learn and mind your business. That's what he's telling you to do. If I tell you something, that means I didn't tell your wife. But Marcel, you got to understand that when people marry, it's like, you know, when you tell me you is telling my husband or my spouse or whatever. So that's just kind of how that thing works. But, you know, you and Tisha, y'all figure that out. Y'all been together 15 years. You keep throwing that around and stuff. So, you know, remember that. So Tiffany says maybe that's why Tisha and Marcel's marriage isn't great, because they don't talk to each other and about their issues. She says that in the confessional. Bitch, you got a whole lot of stuff to say in the privacy of that camera. You need to say that to people, okay? Because you, child. So Maurice says, how important is happiness to you in a relationship? And Mel responds, she thinks that the importance of happiness in a relationship also should be measured in how important mental depression is in a relationship. So Marcel says happiness comes secondary to commitment, and he doesn't give a shit about happiness. And Marcel says at the most successful points of his life within the last year, he was more depressed and frustrated than anything, just thinking about the fact that he would rather he just really would rather not choose depression. And Kimmy says, well, you have to have the mindset that happiness is important. If you are already under the mindset that happiness isn't important, you don't fight that hard for happiness. Then Marcel says, he isn't in euphoria, he is in content. I was like, ouch. He doesn't know if happiness is, he doesn't know if he has happiness or marriage in his life. And he says he didn't know, he doesn't have happiness in his marriage or in his life, is what he said. And he says he didn't know trying to balance at zero is risking depression, which that whole episode kind of disturbed me. And it really shows the plight of the black man, the black alpha male at that. Like, I feel like Marceau is so torn between, I think that they maybe had hit a dark place when they almost lost their businesses. So he's trying to, on one hand, I commend him because he's trying to utilize this platform as much as he possibly can, because at the end of the day, the reality is you never know how long this TV personality stuff is going to last. So I feel like he's trying to utilize his time on TV to, his advantage. He's trying to make as much generational wealth for his family that he can. And throughout that process, he's sacrificing actually everybody that he's building all this stuff for. He doesn't realize that he's actually sacrificing everyone that he's doing all this for, because he simply isn't listening to what they need versus what he wants them to have. And I hope that he does. I think he probably would have benefited, and it would have done him some good to actually sit down with the counselor. And I really hope and pray that in the coming episodes, that's something that they end up doing, is really sitting down with the counselor, because it sounds like it could help him and Tisha, them as a couple, really. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please, please, please like, comment, and subscribe on this video. I am on the road to 1,000 subscribers plus. Please, it is free to help me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Share my videos with your friends that love this show as well. And I will see you in the next video. Peace out.